Hello everyone, so welcome to today's live session. I would like to remind you of the fact that today is going to be our last hangout of the MOOC. It's been so fun, it's been an interesting experience for us and for you, and we've been very pleased to read all of your comments, your posts, and all of your ideas and everything that you share on the MOOC. So welcome to today's live session, which is going to be about ZooBurst, which is a Web 2.0 tool that allows us to create books, yes, online books. And let's see what today's session looks like, okay? So I'm going to start sharing my screen today. Let's see. So now you can see what I'm seeing. So, welcome everyone, welcome teachers. From Panama, from Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Venezuela also, and all around Colombia, if possible, because we know that some teachers haven't been able to join the session and some live sessions have been a little bit difficult for them. Okay, so as I mentioned, today we're going to explore this Web 2.0 tool called ZooBurst. And today I'm going to show how we can register and the different options that this tool offers, and also what activities we can carry out with this tool. The idea is that you also come up with your own ideas and you share them with your colleagues so that we all have different insights on the different usages that we can give to this tool. So without further ado, let's get started, okay? So the first thing that we are going to do, we are going to look for the tool. So as I mentioned, is ZooBurst. And the link is www.zooburst.com. Okay, this is what the tool looks like. Create your own interactive 3D pop-up books. Yes, and we're going to click on register. In order to register, we have to provide the tool with our own information. So in this case, I'm going to use our project official email. And we have to create a nickname. So let's say Cleo EFL Bethlemite. No. Yeah, it only allows up to 16 characters, as we can see here. So let's check availability. Let's see if this nickname has been taken or if we can use it. So it says that we can use it. Okay, then we're going to provide our email, which is already there. We also have to provide the tool with our birth date. So let's choose a random one. Yeah, let's say that we were born, I don't know, 1980. Okay, are you an educator? Yes. And we have to also give this code, but it's a little bit blurry. I hope I'm seeing well. And last but not least, we have to agree to the terms of service. Okay, I'm going to stop here for a second. I would like to know if everyone is hearing me and seeing the screen just like I'm doing now, okay? So activate the questions section. So if you see me or if you see the screen that I'm sharing, please say something. Say something. It says that we have one teacher that already joined the session. Welcome, teacher. I don't know who you are yet, but hopefully we'll know later on. 2 teachers have joined the session now. So welcome, new teacher who have just got in. And okay. So let's continue. Once we have filled all of the information gaps that we were required, we're going to click on sign up. This time I wouldn't like to receive email updates and any spam or more emails to my account, so I'm not gonna take this option. Okay, this is what I'm not going to take. So I'm going to click on sign up, and our registration is complete. So now what we have to do is we have to wait for our password to arrive to our email. So let's see if it usually takes a little bit in order to receive the email, but let's see how long it takes. And here we have our email. It took like 1 minute or a little bit more. So this is the email that tells you your password. Yes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to log in with our email address and our password. Okay. So we're going to click on sign in. We're going to say that it's our personal or a teacher account, because we said that we were educators. And I'm going to copy our email. Yeah, it's right there. And our password, Martin 23997. And it's there. We're going to click on sign in, and we are already in. Okay, so I hope so far it's clear. We have provided step by step how to register, and here it's a good point to mention that you can get a manual. Yes, so it has all of the instructions in case you want to deeply explore this tool. So it's right here. Download a copy of the ZooBurst user manual, and this is what the manual looks like. It tells you what the tool is, what is ZooBurst. It tells you about the user accounts and how to sign in, how to manage books, how to view them, story codes, and some other advanced features. Okay? So in case you're interested in that, you can get a copy of this manual. So I'm going to close it now. And now it's a good opportunity to explore what options this regular account offers. So let's see. We all register with a basic account because we are not paying anything. But if you would like to have some advanced features and advanced options, you can upgrade and you can get a premium or a school license account. Let's see a little bit what this implies. So for basic account, we can have up to 10 books. Yes, we can make or create up to 10 books. However, on this premium account, we don't have a limit. With our basic account, we have a limit of 10 pages, but with a premium account, you can have up to 50 pages. And there are many other options that, as you see, the premium account and the school license provide us with, and that the basic account does not have, unfortunately. So there are different categories. One of them is book viewer, yes, iPad app and story codes, yes. For example, with a basic account, we cannot create and print our ZooBurst story codes right from the website, and we can do that with the other accounts. So there are different options that to which you can access if you upgrade your account. But this was only an overview because what we're interested in today is how to create a book. So let's get officially started. I'm going to see how many teachers have joined the session today, and it says that the number is 4. So welcome, Cesar, once again. Thank you for letting us know that you're watching us and that you can see and hear well. And also teacher Omar, thank you so much for having joined today's session. Okay, so let's continue. Now we're going to create our book. In order to do that, we're going to click here, New Book, and it's very, very interesting. We're going to provide the book with a name. So let's say the name is going to be Week 4 Clio EFL. What is this book about? This is a handout on how to use ZooBurst and a good opportunity to explore this Web 2.0 tool. Okay, here you have the option of letting other people see your book. Yes, it can be public. If you want it to be public, you choose everyone. But if you want only a limited number of people to access your book, you click on only people with a valid password. And here it gives you a password so that other people are able to see it, but privately. Yeah, in this case, I'm going to set it public. Can other users comment on this book? Yes. Or if you don't want them to comment anything, you click on no. And now we're going to click on save. Okay, this is what the first page looks like. It's so fun. So, as you can see here on the right side, there are some colors that you can choose. For example, this one here on the page, that color you can change it. So, let's say that, how about this orange? Oops. What's happening? Okay, let's try the ground color. You see? So, now it's blue. I'm going to, yeah, blue is okay. Blue page, I wanted to change it. Now it's okay. So let's say that we want this page to be a little yellow or orange. Okay, you can also change the color of the sky, and you have 2 colors for it. For example, this one and this one. Yeah, so you have 2 colors for the sky. I want it to look like it's, I don't know, daylight, like it's during the day. No, that looks like, I don't know, afternoon, evening. No. Okay, now it looks like it's, I don't know, probably 10 a.m. So as you can see, you can play with these colors and you can decide whichever color you would like. Okay, now we're going to add characters. Yes, in order to add characters, you have 2 options. You can upload your characters, the pictures that you want, if you have them stored on your computer, or this tool also offers an art library. So let's first check the library. I'm going to click here, and all of the images and all of the visual items are categorized in an alphabetical order. So as you can see, we have all of the letters and the number of items that each letter contains. So for example, I would like to look for a tree. So I'm going to click on T, and I'm going to quickly look for the word tree. And here it is. Oops. tree. Okay, now that all of the images are here on the left side, I can decide if the image is going to be here on the book or right in the background. Okay, so for example, I want this tree to be on the background. So I'm going to click here, background, and on the image. If we see, now the tree is on the background. But let's say that I want the tree on the book. So I'm going to click on book and then click on the image. Okay, so far so good. So if you want the image to be on the book, you select the book option. Or if you want the image to go back, I mean in the background, then you choose background and then the image. Let's say I want another tree. This one looks like Christmas, so I don't think it's very appropriate. So how about this one? I want it to be in the background. So it's there. Let's see what other trees we have. How about this one? But this one I want it to be on the book. So I first select book option and then I click on the image. Now we have two images on the background and two images on the page of our book. We can decide the size of each image. For example, I click on this image, and if I want it to be bigger, here on the right side, I make it bigger or smaller. I'm going to decide the size of this one. And in the background, you can decide also the size. I want it to be bigger. And you can also decide the level of blurriness. If you want it to be very clear, you go this way. But if you want it to be blurry, then you go the other way. But this time I want it to be a little clear. Okay, and this one also clear. So it doesn't look like it's very far away from it. Okay, another option that we have here is rotation. So as you can see, you can rotate the images that you put on your book. So you can rotate, and especially when it comes to the images that you choose for the pages of your book, you can also rotate them so that they are more or less visible. Okay, here you can also decide the place of the image wherever you want, whether it's like back or forth. Yeah, you can decide that. You can decide where you want it to be. There are limits, for example, here. And you can also change the color of the shadow. As you can see here, each image has a shadow, so let's change the color of it. And I don't know, chose a random color so that you can see that the shadow can also be changed in terms of color. Okay, so we have our first page, and we also explored the art library with which this tool provides us. Now, let's see how to upload a picture. Let's imagine that we don't like all of the images that this tool provides us with, and we all have our own images. So in this case, I have my own images, the images that I considered fun and appropriate for today. So the first one is going to be Garfield. So I upload it with this green arrow option, and here it is. Once it's there, I'm going to click on it, and there you go. Now we have a Garfield on the first page of our book. As I mentioned before, you can decide the size of it. Let's imagine that it's a little bit big. And you can decide the rotation of it. You can also decide the pop angle. Yeah, so see what happens. And the color of the shadow. There you go. Okay, I'm going to do this once again so that we double check how to upload a picture. So I'm going to click here where it says upload a picture, and I'm going to select the other picture that I want to include in the first page of our book. This time it's going to be Felix. So it's uploading. Now it's there. I'm going to click on it, and now it's on the page of our book. Again, I can decide the size, the rotation, and the color of the shadow. Oops. There you go. Okay, but that's not the end. We can also include some speech bubbles. For example, let's imagine that Garfield is saying, "What's up, dude?" A very casual dialogue. So I'm going to write what Garfield says here, and I can also decide if I wanted to go like this or the color of it. So in this case, I don't know, blue. And then I click here, save. Now Garfield has a speech bubble. But let's imagine that Felix is also going to say something. So I click on Felix, and here where it says character text, here I write what I want Felix to say. Fine, dude. And you? Something very simple in this case. And you can decide the color, maybe, to help the reader know that it's a different person. Save. So now we have created the first page of our book. But that's not the end. You can have different views of this page. So see my arrow, my cursor. I'm going to click there, and as you can see, you can change the perspective. You can also, you can view it from wherever you want it to view. And that's only by clicking on a free space of the book, of this page. You see? So you can click on the image or any space. If you click on any free space, you can move and you can change the perspective. Oops. Yeah. So that's what it is. I'm going to create another page. How do we do that? This plus. It says create new page. I'm going to click there, and we have another page. We can change the color of the page if we want. We can also change the color of the ground, and we can also change the color of the sky and the horizon. Okay, I'm going to include a different image. In this case, I'm going to include an image that is a little bit particular. Why? Because it doesn't have a transparent background. So here is a good point to say that it's very important that if you choose different images to upload, then those images have to be they have to have a transparent background. So the first page, as you can see, they were images that didn't have any background, but this one does. So how to know that the image has a transparent background? Let's go on Google. And if, for example, you want to look for Dexter Laboratory, and if you write transparent background, then you can see some, let me see, a good example, no. you can see that in the background you can see tiny squares like these ones. Oops. These tiny squares, I hope you're able to see them. They are gray and white. These tiny squares mean that the background is transparent. So for example, I'm going to save this image, and if I upload it, it's not going to have a background. You see? So that's better. These images are better for the book because they don't have any background and they don't look like this one, like this Garfield. So that's a very important point that I needed to make. Okay, so here you can also include dialogues. So Garfield is going to say something like, "I'm bored." And Dexter is going to say, "Dexter looks bored too." So yeah, so am I. Okay. If I click on a free space of the page, I can also include a page narration. For example, something like a description or the story itself. Once upon a time, there was a dog and a scientist. There you go. So, as you can see, you can include characters, dialogues, but also narrations. So that's the second page of our book. Okay, let's add a final page so that we make sure that we had enough examples, and let's change every color, I mean, whatever. Okay, I'm going to upload a file. This time is going to be a chavo. There you go. So now I have the character, and it's now on the page of our book. Once again, I can give speech to this character. And I can also include narration on this page. And suddenly a child showed up. There you go. So now we have 3 pages, yeah, with different characters, different speech bubbles, yeah, different dialogues, and different descriptions in the narration space. Now we're going to click on Save. It takes some time to save, and there you go. Now I'm going to click on My Books. It doesn't matter. And now it is there. If I want to have a preview, I'm going to click on View. And then finally Play. And now we have the book that we have just made, with the colors that we decided, with the background, the trees in the background, with our characters, Garfield and Felix the cat, and obviously their dialogue. So I click there, "What's up, dude?" And I click there, "Fine, dude, and you?" Something like that. That's the first page of the book that we just created. Then I can continue. The tool turns the page, and then we have a different character with its dialogue, its speech bubble. "I'm bored." Yeah, so am I. And you can have up to 10 pages with this basic account, but you can create a short story or different activities with this tool. As we can see, it's a Web 2.0 tool that fosters creativity skills, because students can have the chance to create their own stories, their own dialogues, their own characters. So tools are there, and it's up to the students to come up with innovative and very interesting ideas and products, in this case stories. And then our last page. So that's it. Now we have the preview of the book, and if we want to share it, we can click here, and it's going to give us a link. And that's the link that we can send somebody so that that person accesses this book, the book that we created. Or you can also send it by email with a personal message, and then you click on send. So far, that's what ZooBurst is about in a glimpse. Maybe if you would like to include sound or maybe video, because I think that there is the option to do that, then you will have to upgrade an account and well, you can keep on different options that this tool has. But so far, that's what we can do in a class at the end of a term or whenever you think is appropriate. Okay, so I would like to know if anybody has a question so far. I would like to see how many teachers have joined the session and who is there. So hello, Jessica. It's nice to see you again. Thank you for joining us. And Cesar has a question. Is it possible to upload GIFs and see them moving? It would be nice. Well, we can give it a try, but I haven't seen them moving. Okay, let's do that. GIF. That text, no. Oops. That text are animated. Okay, let's confirm that this one is animated. It's not moving. Oh yeah, it's moving. So let's store it. We can see that it's moving. No, but it's not really appropriate what it's saying. Garfield. Okay, this one is moving. Live session. Oh no. Okay. Okay. ZooBurst. Let's go back to my books. Let's go back to the book that we were creating. Oh no. Build. And let's see if it works. That's a very nice question. Let's see if we upload Garfield and if it actually moves. Okay, so it uploaded it. Now let's see if it moves. Let's click on save. Let's view it. Okay, you can upload it, but the movement is not there. So this Garfield is supposed to wink, but it's not doing so. Okay, so the format is valid if you want to upload it, but the movement will not be possible in this case. Thank you for your question, teacher Cesar. Very, very interesting. Hey, any comments? Anybody out there who would like to ask something related to this tool? I'm going to give a minute so that you share your concerns, doubts, or questions. And if you don't have anything to say there, then I will continue with a glimpse, an overview of what next week looks like in the MOOC. Okay? So I hope you found this tool interesting. I think it's very appealing. And also I believe that it's very engaging. I think students can have a lot of fun, and also they can get to practice because they can create their own dialogues, and there are many things that they can say without being told. Yeah, without being told. Okay, let's see if there are any questions out there. Okay, we have 4 teachers who joined today's session, which is going to be the last one. And as always, there is a time to reflect upon this tool. To use it, or according to what you have seen today, what do you think about this tool? How would you rate it? Do you think it was easy? Do you think it was difficult? Do you think it will be useful? Or do you think it will be useless in our lessons? Yeah. Do you think it was complex, or do you think our students won't have any problems with it? I would like to also know what ideas you would have in terms of activities. What activities can we carry out with this tool? Yeah. And also, any advantages, the positive side of this tool, any disadvantages. Yeah, I would like to remind you that you can all share your ideas and your concerns in the MOOC, on our Facebook profile, or anywhere where possible. Okay, so we are there to listen to your ideas, and we're always hearing you. Okay, I'm going to confirm one last time if anybody said something. Yes, week was not okay. Thanks for trying. Okay, you're very welcome. The last week was not possible to be on live session because I was in an Ecuador. Be updated with the last meeting. Is it on clear web page? Yes, dear sis. So in order to watch last week's live session, you have to go to YouTube. You can type. Since last session was led by Cengage, so it wasn't us who led this session. So they couldn't do that at 6 p.m. So it was a little bit early. So 3 p.m. was the time they offered us to lead this session, and that was the latest. Yeah, because they could do that at 9, at 11 a.m. but that was too early. So the latest one was 3 p.m. So this is last week's live session, when technology, entertainment, and design converge at English language teaching. So that's the whole session. It was, and it has a very nice length. It was an hour, as we can see here. So that's last week's live session. Okay, any other comments out there? Hello, sorry I'm late. Okay, I think those are all the comments. Okay, now I would like to show you a preview of what next week looks like. So next week is called Action Research Project. As you know, this MOOC lasts 6 weeks. So as you see, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the MOOC. So this week, it's all about the Action Research Project. We don't have any other activities. We're only going to focus on this project. In order to do that, you have to think about 5 different parts. So you have to provide an introduction of the project, in which you have to describe the location, the school in which you are teaching, the grade that you are teaching, the language level of your students, the topic that you are covering on that lesson, and also describe a little bit the technology conditions that are available in the classroom or at school. Yeah, so these are the criteria to plan and carry research. The second part of it is identify an instructional or teaching issue that could be addressed by implementing a Web 2.0 tool. In these 4 weeks, there have been of tools that you have got the chance to explore a little bit. Then you now have the knowledge to decide certain tools in order to address certain issues. You also have to state the objective of the project and the Web 2.0 tool that you plan to use. Okay, so that's the same. The third part is the process. So in this part, you have to describe how it out. Yes, this is the time to say that for teachers in Colombia, and we discussed this with Sister Angelica also. For teachers in Colombia, since you are not on vacation anymore, not even Popayan because they have a different schedule. Since you are all teaching at the moment, it's going to be mandatory to implement it and to actually carry it out in the classroom. Okay, so you have to describe how the implementation of the project went. Yeah, you use the Web 2.0 tool and you take it to the classroom, you make it real, and then you tell us how it went. For teachers outside Colombia, because it's possible that they haven't started classes yet, in the case, for example, of Ecuador, then they can describe how it went, if it was possible for them to actually implement it, or they can describe how they think it would have gone if they had been able to carry it out. So that's the third part of the Action Research Project template. Then, fourth part, analysis. You have to analyze the situation, you have to give a concrete answer to the instructional issue that you had identified at the beginning. So you have to say if the tool was well chosen, if the tool was useful, if the issue was addressed, or if it was not. And you also develop the ideas and support your answers. Last but not least, a conclusion, in which our very wise teachers provide a very thoughtful conclusion and tell us if they would recommend the Web 2.0 tool that they used or if they wouldn't do so. Yeah, and also reasons why. So these are the 5 parts of the Action Research Project. Yeah, if you want to start right away, you can do that because that's the only activity that we're going to do next week. Yeah, so next week is going to be all about this project because we know that it takes time to plan it, to write it down, to carry it out, to think about it, to think it through. Yeah, so we know that it takes time. This is what week 6 looks like a little bit. So this is the assessment form. Yeah, in order to get a high score on the Action Research Project, we have different criteria that refer to the different parts of the Action Research Project. So for example, introduction. In order to get a high score in the introduction part, the teacher has to include and clearly describe the location, school, grade, language level, topic to be covered in class, and technology available in the classroom. Yeah, so for each part of the project, we have a different criterion and 4 different descriptors. Yeah, so if you included and described the location, the school, the grade, and all of the required information, then you get a high score. Otherwise, you get a lower score and an even lower score, and so on. If you forgot most items, or if you only included some of the required information. In order to get a high score in the plan part of the project, in the planning part of the project, the teacher has to identify an instructional issue and that he or she could address by implementing a Web 2.0 tool, and he or she also has to include the objective of the project and the Web 2.0 tool that the teacher is going to use. So these are criteria 1 and 2. Yeah. Let's move on. In the process, if you were able to carry it out, how did it go? If you were not able to carry it out, how do you think it would have gone? And in order to get a high score on this part, you have to provide a clear description of how you carried it out, or at least how you would have carried it out if you had been able to do so. Okay, moving on. the fourth part, in order to get a high score there, you have to fully analyze the situation, give an answer to the required questions in the analysis part of the project, which is this. Yeah, in the template. And last but not least, a conclusion. If you provided a very thoughtful conclusion and you answered all of this in the template, then you get a high score there. It's very important to say that Sister Angelica and me, we're not going to assess directly these research projects. It's going to be among you. So we're going to use a peer assessment technique. For sure, we're going to have a look at the to take a number of them to be models for the future and to actually learn from you, and because we're very interested in knowing how was this experience of implementing these tools in the classroom and how students reacted to them. So it's going to be basically you assessing you, okay, among you. So last but not least, we have a space for feedback. Yeah, if you have any other comments to do for your colleagues, then you can use this space to do that. So this is, as you can see, it's a little bit complex. That's why I took some minutes today in order to explain what next week looks like. And I would like to remind you that for Colombian schools, it's mandatory to implement it and to make it real in the classroom, because we are not on vacation and we are currently teaching. But for other schools who probably are on vacation, you can apply it and implement it if it's possible, but if it's not possible, then you can just describe how you think it would have gone if you had been able to carry it out. So I hope this week looks very interesting for you. That's the main activity of it, and it's going to be available next week. You have to do you have to write down a document with all of these 5 parts. Yes, these are the criteria in mind in order to come up with a very, very innovative and an excellent action research project, and you have to upload it next week. So that's what next week is going to be about. I would like to know your impressions, maybe your feelings. How do you feel? What do you think about it? I mean, how does it sound? I'm going to see if there are any comments out there. How could we have all those information in Word or PDF? Yes, that's a good question, teacher Omar. So next week, when we open week 5, all of what I have shown today is going to be there, okay, on the MOOC. So don't worry. I just showed it today too because I wanted you to have a preview and a glimpse, an overview that might be helpful, because next week is a little bit harder than the previous weeks, and it's a little bit different because the previous weeks we have been working on forums, exploring certain tools, yeah, but now it's an action research project, and as you can see, it's a little bit different. So, but everything is going to be there, so do not worry. And let's see any other comments out there, any other questions, doubts. Only 4 teachers joined us today, but we hope that all of this information is going to be useful for other teachers who watch this session offline. Okay. I'm going to show myself again. So that's me once again. Okay, today was our last hangout of the MOOC. We hope the different tools that we explored, we hope that they were useful for you and hopefully very interesting. And if you have the chance to use them, please let us know how it goes in your lessons with your students. We're very interested in knowing how your students react to such tools. And let's see what next week brings along. Okay, so it's going to be very exciting. If it's a little bit challenging, don't hesitate to contact us. We're going to be there to give assistance and to give you anything that you need. Okay. Okay, I'm going to confirm that there is no comment without being read. So thank you very much. It was an excellent tool for us. Thank you, Teacher Omar. We're glad that you found it useful and interesting. Okay, so today, so that's the end. Okay, hope to see you soon. Oh, we have a new comment. Currently, we are working on Neo LMS. Is it possible for us to use it for the practice next week? Oh, could you please tell us a little bit more about it? What is Neo LMS? Or is it, I don't know what it is exactly. Oops. Yeah, Teacher Cesar, I think, okay, I'm going to do some research about it. But I think, I mean, your ideas are more than welcome anytime. So if it's related to ICT or Web 2.0 tools in a certain point or any extent, then we'll be okay with it, of course. But yeah, we would like to know a little bit more about it so that we know to what extent it matches the course and our objectives. Okay. Okay, you gave us a link right here. It's a simple, powerful cloud-hosted LMS for individual teachers, school districts, and universities. I'm going to open it. I'm going to share my screen once again to show what Teacher Cesar has shared with us today. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I would need some time to explore it. I'm going to write down to explore it tomorrow, very early, but it looks like it's related to the course. So yeah, whatever ideas that you have, as long as they're related, that will be very nice and very interesting. Thank you so much, Cesar, for sharing this with us. Okay. Any other comments out there? Okay. Thank you so much once again. Hope to see you someday soon, and let's keep in touch. Okay? Bye-bye. Have a nice evening, a nice rest of the week, and a nice holiday weekend. Bye-bye.